What's up, everybody, and welcome to the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network. We're the LittleBigKast. I don't know if you knew that. On today's show, Jeff's on drugs and forgets to hit record. So I don't know what you're going to get out of this episode. Robin grades the papes.
My eyes.
Rachel gets the papes.
Hello.
That degree, yo. And Glenn brings the meat.
All 10 pounds.
All this and more on episode 52 of the LittleBigKast. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 52 of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks. With me, as always, are two people, and we have a new little special guest today. Our special guest, I'll introduce first. Glenn is here joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Infamous Glenn.
He's the infamous Glenn. He's filling in for Drew today, as Drew is being a husband, taking care of a car that doesn't work for his wife.
Drew is off to save the day.
It's true. But, as always, our two favorite people on the podcast, Dr. Robin Hazlett is with us.
Woohoo.
And the recently graduated
Hello.
Rachel Hernandez.
With a full mouth, yes.
Pomp and circumstance over and over.
How many times did you walk? Did you go to both of the graduations?
Yeah, it's a really long process.
You get to walk
actually.
twice.
Kind of. The first time you don't walk, you just all stand in a giant horde of people.
And then you go through the big
tassel,
is that the D Event
talk.
Center one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Damian Lillard, the professional basketball player, spoke.
Yes.
So sweet.
Yeah.
We had
like 3
one
minutes.
professional sports person graduate ever from Weber State. We are officially legit. You can now call us a AAA college.
Yep.
I don't know. That's what I'd call it if it was a video game. Is that a thing in college? AAA sports?
Well,
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
It's a big deal. So, you know.
Yes, it's a kind of a big deal. We had a rookie of the year graduate from Weber State, so you know.
I know. I was kind of curious what his degree was too. Does anyone know?
I have no idea. Let's take bets on what it was, and then we'll try and Google it.
I know. I was trying to Google it.
Liberal arts? Can you go that general?
Liberal arts.
General studies.
Yes.
General studies.
Someone
Yeah.
told me-
That's there.
Is that a degree?
Someone told me business, but I was thinking like a health thing.
Physical
sales. It was
Bachelor's
sales.
degree in
Sales?
integrated
That's what it
studies.
was. I had a feeling it was like someone
It was
told me, like,
sales?
business or
I'm going to
something.
go with sales because you thank the
That makes sense.
salespeople.
Eventually, he'll have a car dealership, so that makes sense.
Exactly.
If the Utah Jazz are any indication, you've got Stockton to Malone Toyota down in Salt Lake City. So, anyway, that's a lot about stuff I don't know. So, sports. But congratulations, Rachel. That's awesome. How was it?
It was a really long day. Like I finished up around 4 or 5, and I just went straight to bed. Didn't even want to party. I just straight to bed.
I was out at like 9 o'clock. Like,
Right.
all right.
Now you're an adult.
Yeah. Congratulations, you're an adult now.
No.
How about them responsibilities?
Woo! I got a sweet internship with some cool people.
Yeah, it's like an aviation thing, right?
Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. I know, and they just fly around and sell private jets. So if you want
That's
to
a
fly
good
me around
gig.
in your private jet, then yes, I would be
Damn.
gladly to go anywhere to film
Absolutely.
anything you want. So we'll see where that goes, and then just trying to get a big job so I can
Get a big
move
girl
out
job?
of the house.
Delta's
Big
hiring.
girl. No, look at that. 'Cause I
I'd
don't
work
think
for
I'm
Delta.
nice enough
Travel
to be
forever.
a stewardess, but I was thinking of listening
You
to
have
all the
to
people
cover all
complain.
those up, though, babe.
Everything.
Yeah.
Why?
You have to wear long sleeves.
We
Lame.
I know.
struggle.
Come on,
But yes.
Delta. Catch up with the times.
Step
So,
up.
Well, we know
as
what Rachel
always,
did.
yeah, we know Rachel did. So, as always, we kind of go around and talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing over the course of the week, and all of you watching on the Twitch stream, if you would like to join us in letting us know kind of what you've been doing, we'd love to give you a shout out and kind of share what you've been playing as well. But I am going to kick it off this week, if that's okay with you guys, because it's just the same thing I play every
People
week.
are asking about Rachel's hair, so you can kick it off.
Yeah, so I've been playing Destiny, as always. I just can't, for the life of me, get away from it.
2 years later.
And actually, so earlier I was kind of talking about how I jacked my back up, right? And KT pointed out that what started my jack being, I don't know how to talk right now,
Your
my
back
back
of the jacking.
being jacked up was that last week in the middle of a raid, I got a phone call from a guy who needed a treadmill moved into his basement. And so I ran a mile mid-raid. So I was like already working it in the raid, you know?
KT
And then
has an
I
impressive
ran a
memory.
mile uphill. I moved a treadmill down into a basement, and then I ran a mile back so that I could finish the raid with my friends. Durr. And we completed the raid at the expense of my back. So
That's dedication and
Yeah.
obsession. So I don't.
You forgot devotion.
And devotion.
And friendship.
a lot of D
I'd
words.
move a treadmill for anyone.
So yeah, I did that, and now my back is super tweaked. So if you see me walking around,
With a cane?
I'm gimping pretty severely. I look like I literally have a back brace in my car that looks like something a kid with scoliosis would wear. And that's my swag right now.
Wow.
That's my back brace is on fleek. Right? But that's what I've been doing. Finished the season finale of The Last Man on Earth as well. Has anyone else here watched that yet?
No, I dropped out after like the 3rd episode.
Oh. Well, you're wrong, sir. That show is freaking hilarious, and if you guys haven't seen it, you need to check it out. It's very, very funny. And that's me.
Cool.
What about you guys? I guess our guest should have gone first. That was rude of me.
No, we had to.
I
we
don't
had
know
to,
what I'm
but
doing.
What have you been doing? Have you traveled anywhere cool recently?
Not. Well,
I thought you went to like Germany or
us.
Austria. Or...
What takes you on these travels? For those of us who do
work.
not know,
Oh,
well,
I
what
work
is-
for Delta Airlines as a
Who are
flight
you?
attendant.
I don't need
My
an elbow.
employee number is just kidding.
My social security number. Yeah, we're gonna need your social, your date of
I
birth.
have
And your
live
blood type.
block.
These are the credentials that you
know.
need.
Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, I was on vacation and I did. Sorry, I'm newbie.
It's okay.
I went to. Where did I go? I went to Switzerland, to Zurich
Well, that doesn't
for a
sound
few
interesting.
days, and then I was in New York for a wedding for a week, and then I came back here and worked for 5 days.
Right
by going out and other places and not being home.
And for anyone that doesn't know Glenn is the cook of the
non-tastic brisket.
podcast
The
crew.
non-official podcast. Craft
He
services.
brought brisket in today that he smoked
That's what my
from
mouth right
what
now.
5 a.m. until
Yeah, that was about right. Yeah.
5 a.m. and it's now 4 o'clock p.m. So it was a good 12-hour ish. What 10 hours, 8 hours, 10
Yeah,
hours?
something like that. Yeah. I got up at 3. I had the brisket in by 4:30.
Oh my gosh,
So
what's going on here?
We're talking about Rachel's hair, like how she does it.
How are you?
Like,
Are you gonna do a
we-
Cersei
we
braid?
No, can we to zoom in, please? No, I do not. But I did go for fairy elf girl on my graduation day.
Oh, right on.
Yeah. It was,
We'll get to that.
It was flowing. All right, well then let's just pass it your way then.
Well, hello.
Rachel, fill us in.
What I did was I tried to curl my hair.
it's all
It's
good.
very difficult because I don't normally do that. So I just put little braids on the side of my hair and then did that whole elf thing.
Cool.
Sprinkle glitter on my head. I didn't really, but I would have. Maybe stick leaves and stuff. But yes, okay. So that's what I did. Yep. Besides that, I've been playing Portal 2. Lots of Portal 2. It's brought up
Portaling.
many fights, many arguments.
Really?
Many
Oh, really?
stressful.
Oh, yeah.
It's stressful.
Because you're not doing things right, or he's not doing things right.
It's
Is
both.
he backseat portaling?
Kind of. He backseats a lot of things, but so
Tension.
we've been struggling. We
No,
just
that's the test of a. That is the real
I
test
know,
of a
isn't it,
relationship.
though?
You play
But-
video games with that person.
Two-player co-op video games.
he always tells me that this isn't Borderlands, Rachel, and I say I know it's not. He gets sassy
Wow.
whenever I close this portal on accident. So we're at the point where we need to start trusting each other. So yeah.
I can
So
never see you doing that.
can you just get? Yeah. Oops, I'm
Shut up.
sorry. So he'll be floating through my portal, and I'll just shut it off and switch it to go a different way, and it's great. It's great. So I'm having fun. He gets stressed out
He's
a little
suffering.
bit. Yes. I've also, since I'm graduated, I've now been playing Pokemon Sapphire. So that's great. I'm excited for my team. I chose Torchic. I usually don't pick Torchic because he's a little OP, but I decided to go with him for the first time. So that's what I've been doing.
Very cool.
It's good to have like free time on my hands now. So
Oh, is it freaking you out?
I know I'll start a Twitch stream soon. I'm gonna go pick up a PS camera.
Have you got funding yet for your Twitch stream later
Not yet.
in the summer?
I know we're thinking
gotta-
about that. Rob and I were getting some
Yeah.
details about that. So
Sponsors.
I'm telling you,
to
do
work.
it.
please give me money. Thank you. So yes, I'm just moving on in life.
Cool. Congratulations.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's a big deal.
I'm excited.
Rachel and I have both officially graduated from college while doing this podcast. This podcast will always have a special place in my heart. That's where I graduated schools. Robin, what's up, dude?
I've been grading all the stuff that Rachel and her people have been turning in. So yeah, grades were due yesterday.
I heard someone. Okay, I gotta interrupt you real fast.
No, go for it.
I heard a student tell. Okay, a student told me, and I'm not gonna tell you who it was.
Mm-hmm.
They told me there is no way she read my entire paper.
Oh yeah.
Is that possible? Did you read every paper that was submitted to you?
And I cried through each of them.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Of
Because
happiness or
we were
sadness or
kind of joking about it. I
disappointment?
was like, I've been hosting this podcast with Drew and Robin for a while now, and they always insist that they read everything that's submitted to them.
Yeah, it is actually a very brutal process. Like, we have our own little built-up rubrics. Like, these are the things that we're looking for, and then we go through and check them off.
So does it ever get to a point though where you're like, okay, I've seen so many bad things
It's
that
like-
I'm just gonna, if it's a missing comma, a missing semicolon, or a misplaced comma or semicolon, I don't even care anymore. Like, I just want, I'm after context.
Little context.
Does that
the
conversation
sentence have
ever
a
happen?
Subject. For when I can like get the general oh great, now I'm messing my eye and makeup. Sorry guys. If I can get like the general idea of what they're going for, and I know that like it depends
Their
on
heart was in the right place.
if their grammar was in the right place, not their heart. Screw their heart.
Damn, that's cold.
That's cold.
Which aorta?
Yeah.
I would go for the left ventricle.
All right.
So yes, I actually do read them, and then I seriously consider taking up drinking. A whole lot.
I feel like finals, for both teachers and students, finals is like a really good time to start a really bad habit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the perfect time for
It
a
was
bad
just like,
habit.
I wish that I was addicted to something so that I could like, I mean, like I need like an emotional support that doesn't talk back to me. It's like my cat kind of screws me over. He's like, "Come here, Evie, sit on my lap and make me feel better." No.
I know you need me.
So in the
Go
middle of
away.
all this grading, have you been able to get into any games at all?
I've been playing around with just a little bit of Borderlands as usual.
Okay.
I haven't really like deviated from my usual things.
You've been
And
on a Borderlands kick while I've been on a Destiny
So
kick.
great.
Yours just hasn't
Yeah.
lasted as long as mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it's like
Yeah, that's fine.
I've had a problem for a lot longer than you.
like.
But you haven't
"Wish
played
I
any,
helped
you
you
haven't
have it,
played
can I have
anything.
more?"
You haven't played anything but Borderlands for a while, and I haven't played anything but Destiny for a really
a
long
long
time.
while.
Like a long ass time. So we probably both need to work on that.
Yeah, we'll go into therapy.
We'll figure it out. Hey, what's up, Mitchell? Anyway, has that been our weeks? Oh, you saw Age of Ultron.
Wee.
Who saw it?
Saw Age of Ultron.
I haven't seen it. Who did?
I did a
Thoughts?
double feature.
I want to hear the thoughts.
I fully enjoyed it. Like,
Okay.
fully enjoyed it. I was glad that a different character got fridged instead of the typical, like, damsel in distress getting fridged. So,
I want to see it. I can't
Yes.
talk my
I'm-
sister into babysitting. She's being a freaking jerk.
ugh.
She so for Christmas, she gave us this card that was like, "Hey, good for one free babysitting every month of the year, right?" So it was 12 total, one a month.
Clever.
That's not that much. One time a month, one night
It's
a month.
12. It's 12
That's not a big
babysits.
deal.
She owe you like 3 right now.
Yeah, she hasn't done it once. she
like
she
5
did
nights.
babysit one time,
It's vacation.
and she made me pay her, even though I had a voucher for a free one. The hell is going on with families these
Return
days?
it.
Family values are going right
You
out the
didn't see the
windows,
extra-
guys.
Family values has no value. Oh!
So, if anyone on the stream knows of anyone that wants to babysit a 4-year-old, send them my way. Tweet at me at Jeff Hawks.
It's a great way to find me.
That's a great way to
By the
Anyways.
way, if anybody wants to
If you
watch my
wanna-
daughter,
Whatever.
Just give her an
Internet.
iPad and she'll be happy.
internet, anyone from the internet.
Cool. Anyway, that kind of wraps up our weeks, right? Is there anything else that needs to be brought up? Because if not,
I moved from level 22 to 26 in 5 days. On
in Destiny. Very cool.
Dang.
So we gonna be raiding. I'm excited.
That's precious.
KT helped me out with that. the
Very
other day.
cool.
I'm sure he was really annoyed.
No, he's good.
we kept.
He can deal with
KT annoyed of something?
Well, I didn't have headphones, and so I didn't know where I was going.
it. So he'd just shoot at you to tell you where to go.
Yeah, because I left
It's like Journey.
I left the stupid.
Yeah,
I left the
You're like
stupid
doing the blink.
boondoggle in a hotel or something, and then.
that's funny.
And so now I just have useless headphones.
That's okay. That's all right. KT's good at shepherding people through things. Then we'll just skip right to the news. Is that cool with everyone?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll do the news today because Drew's not here. Typically, Drew does the news. So, news number one, a big one for me because I grew up playing this game, but Activision has announced that developers Robomondo and Disruptive Games have officially announced Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. It seems like this is going to be kind of a return to the glory days of the Tony Hawk games. Hopefully a little less kind of over the top and ridiculous. Like I said, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago when it first leaked. I was like, I want a Tony Hawk game that feels like Skate. Like Skate seemed much more grounded in reality, and it was because of that it was a lot more fun to play. So I'm really hoping that that we get a true kind of return to the original, because the original Tony Hawk and then Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, holy cow, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was rad. Like that game was off the chain, and the soundtracks for those games.
I was just gonna say.
Throwback Tuesday.
And rad.
Throwback to my high school days of playing it. But like the soundtrack to those games were just awesome. Like,
That's what my thing was. I'm curious to see where they'll go with next gen. I think Skate was a good transition into that generation.
yeah.
So I'm curious to know like how they're going to incorporate things.
Well,
to
and it
make
totally
this
like
generation.
Skate is what pushed Tony Hawk kind of into irrelevancy, right? And so
Yeah,
it'll
'cause,
be interesting to see what lessons they learned from the Skate kind of side of the world. So
That, and I hope the soundtrack is as promising as the previous ones, because most of the songs from my iPod came from Tony Hawk
Right.
soundtracks, right?
early thousands
Isn't
like
that
punk
crazy?
rock and yeah, dude. So that's when I was at the Real Big Fish show a couple months ago, right? Was that January that I went to the Real Big Fish show? Like they played songs from that, and instantly I was like back in the
Could you
schoolyard.
just like see it?
Yeah, I could totally see the screen in front of me as I'm like grinding tables in the schoolyard one where you go, you're on the roof and you like skate off the roof and then grind the stair set. Like that was my jam. I freaking love that crap. So hopefully we'll see a return to some of those other ones.
Is Tony Hawk the
yeah.
bro game?
Bro game before COD,
And the
probably.
Totally was.
The Connect board. Do we remember that?
Was there
Wait,
even a Connect board?
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember
remember
that.
seeing it. I never played
and
with it.
it was so sad.
Yeah,
It was so sad.
That was when they
Worse
were
than
trying
the
to
Nintendo
force.
Power Pad.
Yeah, it was like they were trying
yeah,
to
that
force
was like their
you.
version of it.
Yeah, it was like they were trying to force you into the Connect, and that was dumb.
It's their gateway drug.
So hopefully they can avoid that. News number 2, and I didn't open up this one, but so it has been announced that PS4 has reached 2 million sales in the UK, which is significant because that they have reached that point faster than the PS2 did.
Yep.
And that's pretty dang significant because the PS2, as most people know, is the fastest, largest selling console of all time, right? Like hundreds of millions of consoles. And so it's done that in less than 18 months, which is pretty incredible. Number 3, does anyone have anything they want to add to that? It's just kind of,
No.
it's a
Go.
news blip because
Go
it's a news
Sony.
blip. All right,
Because-
number 3, fans have petitioned to revive Silent Hills, and it has amassed over 71,000 signatures. So I think that would be cool if we got
If we
the
got-
game, but I don't think this is going to do anything.
What I think is gonna. Well, okay, did you guys watch that concept trailer? It like
No.
made me pee, literally, and I think it's just there's such a strong fan base for it to want it enough.
Oh, everyone
I
wanted
know.
it.
Oh, but what I think is
good
gonna
pee?
happen, like good
Oh.
pee, like holy
I thought-
cow,
I
this
didn't know if
game
it was scared pee or-
would have. It was scared pee, but
Scare P
it
can
was
be good
like
P too.
and slugs and stuff. But I think that maybe that these two will go on to do their own.
So here's
thing.
something that's been kind of rumored to be happening. Not rumored, but like hoped for, I guess is a better way of saying it. You know, Hideo Kojima has a great relationship with Sony. Metal Gear Solid was built for the Sony platform. They've had a long-running, super good relationship. So what I could see happening is Sony stepping in and saying, "Hey, we'll produce it. Come join one of our teams. Let's make. I mean, don't call it Silent Hills. Call it PT.
Right.
PT was a PlayStation exclusive anyway, right? The playable teaser was a PlayStation exclusive. They could probably get away with just calling it PT. And I could see Sony doing that. I think the need for a really scary game is there. And obviously, like, this was huge, right? Like, this demo was wildly popular, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, so freaking scary.
And also
like,
for like the
unnerving.
public outcries, like you can't download PT anymore. No.
Right. Like, not only was it overtly scary, but it was very, like, subtly unnerving too. It's a
was.
scary freaking
Not
game.
being
And
able
so
to run and just all the details.
right, and I just think back on like the time that you go through the hallway and then
Got chills.
everything
Awesome.
speeds up. Like,
Yeah.
you are the ones like clicking through the hallways. Like, that freaked me
crazy.
out.
Not
That was
only-
scary.
Yeah, and I still remember just how the start menu was incorporated too. So
Right.
it's like I said, the start menu is your safe. That's your.
That's supposed
That's
to
where
be
you
your
go
safe
when
spot.
You're scared. I
Right.
don't know. So I think you're right, because with the Silent Hill name, then there's that expectation and there's that comparison. People say, well, it wasn't like the other Silent Hill games. So that's why I think they're gonna.
Right. And so I think, if I don't see Kojima going back to Konami. Like, I think those cords have been cut and the ties have been severed. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, though, if he ended up at Sony and
Or if he
did
wants
something
to
there.
just buy a private island and
too.
just say, screw you all, I'm going to drink my Mai Tais.
Or a
Yes.
military base in Alaska.
Yeah. I don't
He
know.
names it Shadow
That's what I
Moses.
would do.
I would totally not go to Alaska. That's too
Builds
freaking
a
cold.
giant robot that tries to kill it.
Builds a giant robot to go after Konami.
Science projects.
That'd be cool. Next one, number 4. Powers has been renewed for a second season at PlayStation. Has anyone else watched Powers other than me?
Totally. That season finale was amazing.
So I haven't watched the season finale. No, I have. I have.
You
It was
have.
awesome.
It was
It was awesome. Very, very cool show. They like. So the only actor in the show that bothers me is his what's his number 2, his backup, his partner.
Oh, she's annoying.
She's annoying as crap. She's not a very good actor.
To work for.
Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, but his
I made that
partner's a
joke
little bit
first.
annoying, but everybody else in the show, I feel like, fits their role
Excellent,
really
yeah.
well. The acting is good, and it's just so well done.
Yeah.
Super, super fun show.
Hola.
Very entertaining and just so appropriately violent.
So if you're not familiar with Powers, it's a comic book drama?
Correct.
Question mark?
Yes.
Well, I have no
Written
idea.
by I forgot.
It was
And
supposed to be on FX.
Yeah, he's like one of the big comic gurus. The guy that wrote
It's
it.
Brian Michael Bendis
Thank
is
you. I
the
forgot his
guy
name.
that originally wrote
Thank
the
you,
comic. And Charlto, I don't know how you say his name. Copley is the cop who is, this X-Power. He used to have the superpowers and now he's lost them, and so the whole
So now he's
kind of
bitter?
story revolves around him trying
District 9.
to do his job, but also trying to get his powers back. And so it's honestly, it's just super entertaining. It's really well done. It's a lot of fun. Check it out because season 2 is coming. Number 5. It has been leaked, and it looks like, so this is my little Destiny quip, and I actually probably have a couple more things I want to talk about on Destiny, if that's okay with you guys.
The unofficial Destiny podcast.
So I saw
KKD Network.
the unofficial Destiny podcast. Yep, exactly.
Yes.
So some people in the stream said they don't really care about Destiny, but I do. So I'm going to just roll with it.
It's okay. We
So
don't really care
first
too
of
much
all,
either.
apparently Bungie has trademarked the name The Taken King, and it sounds like that's going to be the name of the next DLC that's launching in the fall. So this reportedly is the name of what we previously thought was going to be called the Comet DLC, which essentially was supposed to double the size of Destiny. So this, they're thinking, is going to be the really big piece of DLC that comes around the 1-year anniversary of the game. But earlier today, I don't know if you were watching Twitch, but Bungie live streamed the new House of Wolves Prison of Elders DLC that's going to be coming out. They invited a pretty popular Twitch streamer, Professor Broman, to come on and kind of walk people through what to expect with Prison of Elders. And essentially what you're going to be getting, Prison of Elders is Horde mode. And it's kind of objective-based Horde mode, so as you progress through in difficulty, there are going to be more objectives that have to be met. So I've talked a lot about how great Mass Effect 3's multiplayer was, and I kind of feel like this is going to be like satisfying my my need for that style of gameplay, because I loved it. So I'm really excited. Essentially what you're going to be getting is 4 levels of difficulty. You have a level 28, a level 32, 34, and a 35. The level 28 will have no weekly lockout, but 32, 34, and 35 will have a lockout, meaning you can only do it once, or you can only get rewards once per week. And I didn't hear what you said.
Destiny.
It's just numbers, math,
Numbers. No, not math. I like numbers for Destiny, but I don't like math. 6 versions of Prison of Elders that will rotate between 32 through 35. And this is probably boring everyone that isn't into Destiny as much as I am, so I'll just leave it at that. But it's cool. Look it up. We learned about some new gear, some new pistols, some new rocket launchers, and I'm
really
excited.
new cool
And so everyone else is kind of bored, but I like it.
No,
It's
it's
okay.
great. Don't shout.
I blame Jeff for getting
Sorry,
into the
Jeff.
Daredevil.
Yeah.
Have you been watching Daredevil?
Yeah,
Did you finish it?
No, I'm on like episode 2, the hallway fight scene.
How have you not binge watched it?
Because I have things to
Ooh,
do.
grump.
Well,
Like be a
fine then.
professor.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
That
Yeah.
hallway fight scene was sick, huh?
Hallway fight scene,
glad you
long
liked it.
take.
Totally worth a night without sleep.
Hella long take, yeah. So that was impressive. I like that a lot. It actually never mind, this is a tangent I'm not going to go on. If you...
LBK drinking game. Every time Jeff mentions Destiny.
This wasn't going to be Destiny.
we're
This is
gonna
going to
die.
be...
Every time he
This was
mentions
gonna
it.
be-
Every time he goes on a
We're
tangent longer
drinking
than
root
5
beer,
minutes.
kiddos.
Yeah.
This is the KT Data Network.
That's true.
Woo.
Not me.
We'll just move on.
And every time Robin does this.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Drink anytime this happens.
I don't know that I do it, okay? It just happens.
That's okay. We like
And then
it.
I act like the wall, like the air is my whiteboard, and so I like start talking about things. I
And
did
as
that-
you
I did that
change
today at the
subjects, you
web
wipe
meeting.
it
I'm like,
clean.
so on the main page, I think that we need to aggregate the content from all the sub pages.
You ever run into a wall and you're like,
I'm trapped in a glass cage of emotion. Yes.
milk was a bad choice.
It was. Milk was a bad choice. Very cool. So that wraps up our news. If there's anything that we've forgotten and you want to post it into the chat, feel free. But otherwise, we're going to kick it over to Rachel.
So for the PlayStation 4, we have Air Mech Arena, which is free for PlayStation Plus members.
Yay.
Free.
We have
And that's not included in the PlayStation Plus for the month. This is a week thing that's just free for a week, so grab it.
So pick it up because it's free. Archive City Connections for $7.99. Can you just like
Cosmophony?
Can they name things normally? Cosmophony
Cosmophony.
$4.99 or
I would
three-way
say
cross
Cosmophony.
buy,
Like cacophony.
and either one for because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, so it covers PS4, PS3, and Vita.
Oh, okay. So then we have Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, the Game of the Year edition for $49.99, and Wolfenstein: The Old Blood for $19.99.
I'm probably going to pick that up. Wolfenstein was fun. That was a great, great game.
Yay! For PlayStation 3, we have Chariot for $14.99 at Cosmophony again, and Siberia.
Bless
My
you.
sneeze.
Sneezed in her hair.
That sneezed
I
though.
was looking at, wow.
I was trying to
Is that moose?
don't sneeze in the mic.
Extra conditioner.
That's some sweet gel.
I was
No, it's
looking at
just
the
there.
name, but of course.
Cosmophony, and then Siberia 2 for $14.99. And then the Vita is the
Does anybody
Cosmophony
play Vita?
for all
here?
3.
You do?
Jealous.
Guilty.
I thought about buying one the other day.
I really want one.
Man,
then I
were you
bought a
like
smoker
travel all the
instead.
time?
Yeah.
I would have one for sure.
Yay! That's all. That's it.
Did.
Yeah, it's kind of a dull release time.
Yeah.
It's okay.
With E3 approaching, I think
Yeah.
they're all kind of.
Arkham.
Yeah, that's November-ish.
I know.
I'm excited. In 2
I'm-
weeks is House of Wolves for Destiny.
Yeah.
Nobody else cares.
I do. It'd be
Whee.
good. It'd be good.
Yeah, if I was traveling on the reg, I'd have a Vita for sure.
I know.
That'd be cool.
Don't need enough
Trying
plasma
on
to
the reg.
get a Vita.
You hear all the
Right.
you hear all the
Regular.
swag words I've used today, Rachel?
Oh.
Swag.
I'm
There's
looking young. I'm sounding young today.
no, you sounding desperate. To
Said
be young.
fleek.
It's kind of
Which
funny.
was
said-
interesting.
I had a girl.
I said that's my jam. What else did I say?
Oh, you said rad.
Did I say rad?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I said rad. It was
Totally bodacious.
You had a girl what?
Just
That
come in
kid's
with
fresh.
a no filter shirt. It said hashtag no filter, and I was like, haha, that hashtag's kind of ridiculous too. And she's like, no, I mean for me. I mean I have no filter. I'm like,
You just made it
That's the
worse.
this conversation got real dumb real quick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hashtag top
Yeah.
race.
Hashtag.
Hashtag don't want to know those details.
Oh, take it back. Leave my store. Yes.
Did you have to do that?
Oh yeah, KT said he didn't want to say Witcher 3. I'm trying to avoid Witcher 3 until I'm so torn, guys. Witcher 3 comes out the same day as House of Wolves. That's a problem. That is
House of
poor planning on
Wolves.
their parts.
One.
The Destiny expansion versus
what it is.
probably the largest game that's ever been made.
I
Oh,
heard Witcher 3's
did we
been
talk about how
We did.
big? We did,
Yeah.
right?
We
Yep.
did.
It's huge.
Or you did, because I listened last
Yeah.
week.
I'm excited. Anyway, still clinging on to last gen consoles. You should move on,
Takes
dude.
a while.
There's
don't
some new
worry.
ones that are
Just
pretty
wait,
nice.
Wait for the perfect deal in the
Yeah.
perfect color, and then you'll know. You have to be
Yes.
ready.
Or just buy
For
both.
action.
That's what I did.
Or do
Yeah.
that.
Donate plasma.
Plasma is a good
Plasma.
way to get consoles.
Don't have responsibilities. That's how I buy stuff.
Yay.
And I just prostituted myself, so it's whatever.
I live
There's
at
a
home.
redheads are in high demand. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Ooh.
Not really. Did you know sperm banks in all over the world are starting to reject redheaded donors?
You're kidding.
Dead
Sad.
serious.
No one wants
Nobody
you.
wants them.
Because you're all full of recessive genes.
There's like one
then
there's
you
like
can manipulate
one
it however
clinic
you want.
somewhere in
No.
Scotland that still accepts it, but
Like,
everywhere else, at
the
least
Orphan
throughout
Black
Europe.
would be like Orphan Red. Hey.
Yeah.
I tried. Okay, I tried.
Anyway, our indie game of the week. So every week we kind of do this like indie-ish kind of game of the week. Sometimes they're not so indie-ish. Some of them, in the past we've done Child of Light, which was an Ubisoft indie-ish game.
Uncharted. We've
But
done
this week is a legit indie game that is not only indie, but it is a damn good indie, and it is Transistor.
Oh.
So, Transistor. Do you want to tell us about it before I read the kind of story synopsis?
No, you have to sing indie game of the week.
Oh, I do? Okay.
Yep.
It's the indie game, the indie game, the indie game of the week.
Yeah, there we go.
yes.
That's pretty good. It wasn't quite as soulful as Drew's, but
Yeah.
I like
I
that.
think
my
you did
first
just
time.
fine.
It's
It's
my first
jazzier.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot more jazzier.
I had to go
Drew's
gentle.
was a little more sultry. Like he tried to make it sexy. I don't know if
Which
it
you
worked
can't
though.
do.
Depends on. I know.
That wiggle hurt my back a lot that I just did. That little
That's dedication.
thing. Yeah. So anyway, Transistor is published and developed by Supergiant Games. If you're not familiar with it, it's freaking awesome. So this comes from the people that created Bastion, which is another incredible indie game that just came to the PS4, like a month ago? And Transistor is awesome. What's happening? Their looks being mean. Gingers have a very potent scent.
You just know.
Oh man.
That's the best I got.
I don't even know where to go with that.
See, I didn't say it was a bad scent. I just said it was a potent scent.
Man,
They are
I'm
palate
feeling
cleansers.
really self-conscious right now, guys.
No.
Get yourself a pickled ginger.
Out of nowhere, I'm
You're
feeling
special.
I'm feeling horribly self-conscious.
Well,
Apparently,
hey,
I smell.
You know
That's-
what? We were going to have the
Oh.
fabulous hair episode because
More
we're
tutorials, and on this episode.
yes, hair tutorials from Rachel, and then how to not have super fluffy hair from the rain outside.
I can show you how to develop a cul-de-sac on your head. Mine was natural.
All right,
Transistor,
so
tell us more.
Transistor.
Transistor.
Story
So
time.
first of all, Metacritic gave it an 83, so a cumulative score of 83 out of 100. And I'm gonna start. We'll start with the story. Okay, that's easy.
Okay.
So Red, a famous singer in a city called Cloudbank, is attacked by the Process, a robotic force commanded by a group called the Camerata. How is it pronounced again?
Yeah.
Camerata, right? During the clash, she is transported all the way across Cloudbank and comes in possession of the mysterious Transistor, the great sword-like weapon she was to be assassinated with. The Transistor is buried in the chest of an as of yet unnamed man who seems to be close with Red. Now slumped over and dead, though his consciousness and voice seem to have been absorbed into the Transistor itself, along with Red's voice. The Camerata continues to track Red and the Transistor down with the Process, wanting the weapon for some yet unknown reason. So, first thing that I've got to say about this game is it freaking just oozes like style. This game, I've never played.
sexy.
Yeah, it is a sexy ass game. It is it's just a cool looking game. Everything about it just screams cool. And I just constantly found myself hitting that share button. Like, I wanted to save screenshots through the entire game just because of how cool it looked. I loved the city. I loved the environment. And I loved the character. I thought Red was so cool. And I wish we would have learned more about her other than the fact that she's like a singer, like a club singer. I just thought she had a ton of story to tell that I didn't feel like I got. And that's probably the only thing about the game that I felt like was lacking, was I wanted to get to know Red better. And the opportunity just wasn't there. Like, I don't know. What did you think?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting how you were saying that, you know, we don't get to know Red a lot, but we know a lot about the people who she comes in contact with.
Right.
Because when you defeat someone, you kind of collect this
information about them, and new abilities based on them.
Which I think is really interesting. So
Red is the main character, and through this, everything's being told through.
Yeah,
Right.
So she's just the conduit, really, in all things. Like, she's the one who wields said transistor sword.
Right.
So she's just the conduit. She's literally the silent protagonist.
And what's cool about her is she's famous throughout this world. Like, you are constantly reading like news clips that say, you know, Red is performing at this nightclub at X day, and you find like posters of her all throughout the city, and they're the cool kind of French styled. Kind of vintage looking posters, and man, they just look so cool, but she has no voice. And oh man, one of the probably the best application that I've seen in any game, kind of, yeah. But really kind of the best application that I've seen of any game using the speakers on the controller. So in Resogun it's used, and that I loved that, like, save all humans, you know, like that was cool. But in Transistor, you can set it up so that the sword, when it speaks, actually speaks through your controller.
That's cool.
And so the first time that happened, I was like playing, and he starts talking to me, and I looked down, and I was like, this actually feels like I'm holding that sword, like I'm in control of the sword, and like it adds like this connection that I don't think I don't know, it just didn't.
It wouldn't have been the same.
It wouldn't have been the same without it. Like, it really created this connection between you and the Transistor that I really appreciated, and I thought was really cool. I love that the sword, the Transistor, is talking to you as though you were Red through the whole thing. And the voice actor that they got to do Transistor, oh my gosh, is so good.
Yeah, Ashley Barrett just killed it.
Yeah, so good. And I wish that, again, I take everything back to Destiny, but like, Peter Dinklage should have been a good voice as the robot in Destiny. He pales in comparison to the Transistor voice. Like, there's a point in Transistor where the sword realizes that they've taken your voice, and it's like you can feel it when he says it.
Like,
they took your voice. Yeah, like, I can't believe they took your voice. Like, he's upset by it, and I just loved that. I loved the connection between the Transistor and the woman, and as that story. So you learn a lot about the Transistor, and you learn a lot about the enemies that you fight throughout. But yeah, I wish we would have got more about Red. What about you?
I don't know. I'm okay with not knowing about Red, because then you can project whatever else you want onto her.
Right.
And then you're like, oh, she was a famous singer, but I wonder what else she has the ability to do, because obviously she's, you know, wielding this thing with expert prowess. Like, what else does she know how to do that we don't know about?
She's Jean Grey.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you want to explain like the battle systems and stuff too?
Yeah, I was going to jump into that. The battle system is like, you know, half action, half strategy, because you can only move a certain amount of
It's like distance,
space.
right? So you have this distance bar.
Right.
That every move takes up a certain amount depending on how much damage it does.
Yeah, and so like you can have a move that will damage a little bit in a great area, or you can be extremely close to the enemy, and of course basically hoping that when you plan out this move, that it will actually trigger in that specific area before the enemy moves away from it. So you basically have to just hedge your bets with it. So it's frustrating and fascinating at the same time.
Yeah. It's the kind of I felt like it's the kind of battle system that it takes a while to get used to and to figure it out. But I actually really appreciate it, like the different modifiers that you can add to the attacks. It is a very it comes across as being really simple to figure out, and
No.
the more you play it, the more you learn how complex it actually can be. And yeah, again, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. So, like I said, and we're getting close to the 5 p.m. mark, so we're going to start wrapping up. But, I mean, Metacritic gave it, what, 87? Is that what I said? 87 out of 100? 83. 83 out of 100. So where, for you, so you haven't played it yet, right? Okay, so where for you would you rate it?
I'm giving it 90.
90?
Like, it was a very simple battle system to begin to figure out, and then it started becoming kind of convoluted with all of the different modifiers, and for this
Right.
one you need to remodify everything, and I've been hit so many times and now I can't load this. I'm like, okay, I get this, I get the sense of loss, I got it, and now I
Right.
can't progress in the freaking story.
Right.
But
See, and I think I'd put it, I could be comfortable with anything from 85 to 95. Like, somewhere in that world, I would feel comfortable with any score in there. And the biggest detractor, again, being I wanted to know more about Red.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of player that I want to be told the story.
yeah,
And for some people, that's not what they're looking for. I really enjoy being told a good story. But at the same time, I'd rather be told no story than a bad story.
true.
Like,
Very
I'd
true.
rather be able to project than, get some washed out crappy story. So, yeah, I guess I'd be comfortable with the 90. 90 would work for me.
92. Yeah, we've been grading a lot, so 92 is a good grade.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
So,
sure, same with
If you
92.
if you like more games by these guys, they do Bastion as well.
And Bastion is just fantastic.
Yes.
Bastion is awesome. Another great,
The story's
the
solid on that
narrative.
one.
The narrative of Bastion is so
and
cool.
Jeff's gone.
And
He's having a moment.
It
He's
is.
having a
It's
moment.
just cool. Sorry. So, Drew, thanks for joining the chat. We're glad you stopped by to say hello for a second. Super good game, though. We definitely, I think 90
Oh, yeah.
is a thumbs up from both of us, and we'll get these two playing it shortly. But in the meantime, this has been, ladies and gentlemen, episode 52 of the LittleBigKast. Again, thank you for joining. I'm one of the hosts, Jeff Hawks, and again with me,
Rachel Hernandez.
Miss Rachel Hernandez. You can follow her at Pirate Rachel with an E instead of or a 3 instead of an E.
Yep.
And over here we have Dr. Robin Hazlett at Robin Hazlett.
Yep.
Glenn over here on the left at
G Wiggum.
there you go. And I'm Jeff Hawks at Jeff Hawks.
Wiggum.
Cool letters.
Feel free to follow us, chat at us, send us any questions that you may or may not have, and yeah, please feel free to hit the follow button on the Twitch channel, hit the like, subscribe, whatever's, and if you have a moment, oh man, we would love it for you to hop into our iTunes and give us a rating. And if you hate us, don't give us a rating. But if you love us,
It's like
even if you hate us,
no,
we'd
no.
love a rating, and we'd love to get your feedback. And that's it. Thanks for joining, everybody.
We don't want feedback. We want good things. Like us, and we'll give you a shout out.
Adios.
Stay